Morning, everyone. So just give me a second. Okay, just come at half past. Have a look. All right, that's half past. Okay, that's okay there. Okay, half past. Good morning, everyone. I'll just start with we'll get the bad news out of the way. We had it looks like we've had a bit of a disaster start of the week. AUD went pear-shaped, NZD went pear-shaped, and I think there's another one, I think. NZD Catalan went pear-shaped as well. That was USD and Canadian, as we know. In my opinion, this is my opinion, anyway, it is what it is. Very actual. Sorry, I just had to knock you off there. I don't know what was background noise there. I saw the name Pietro. If you want to speak, just let me know. I'll unmute. I've got some background noise there. Okay, because I like it. I really do. I mean this. Verbally or on chat line, both. And it's a lot easier when you do verbally as well. Then we can discuss it, often for everyone's sake as well. No, okay, fair enough. Okay, so those three went pear-shaped. You guys know the reason why, but obviously some people don't know why. They think it just started. I think we're sending rubbish and getting quite nice. One of the WhatsApp came was effing and blinding something chronic about it. As I say, I still say the trade went through from a point of view of technically okay. Anything can happen. We can't stop trading with the fundamental. We can be aware of them, but the major problem with fundamental, you can get lucky, it goes your way or not. The major problem to get lucky or not is, as I mentioned before, is sometimes you get an underreaction and sometimes, unfortunately, an overreaction, and that comes back to bite. And there's you haven't done anything wrong. There's no skill involved whatsoever. That's red or black in the casino roulette table. If it's overreaction and you're smiling, black comes up, you've got your money on black, or the next time put on black, red comes up. It's a pure gamble on that side of it. It's not, as I say, what are you doing wrong or skill or anything like that. It's idea control. To say, well, let's not do any trades when the fundamental comes out and be trading only a couple of days a month. That's not that work. It doesn't happen that lot. We've had a bad run lately. We've had a good run over the last few months. So I'm going to try and remember to tabulate the trades. So when it looks bad, we can cheer ourselves up. The unfortunate aspect, psychology, you just started, you just bought the course, you're excited whatsoever, you heard about these trading signals, and the first couple come out, and obviously on the back foot mentally. It did happen. We've had, I think it's one stage where 12, that's about a record, that 12 were correct, but that's unusual. Luckily, I've never had 12 incorrectly, never, ever, ever. But I've had, I think, 5 or 6 go on the trot. That's about the worst I've had, I think, if I can remember rightly. But you do, so it's got to even out of a period of time. Just bear that in mind. If your hit rate is correct 2 out of 3, it doesn't stop you getting 7 on the track, on the go correct. You might get 4 or 5 on the go that's not correct. But try and keep your mental stability there. I get very down because I'm responsible for it, and it hurts my credibility, and it does depress me. But as Pietro cheered me up yesterday, come on, look, tomorrow's another day, and I do feel better. But thank you for your therapy. The check's in the post. Okay. But yeah, the thing is to try and be, where you are consistent, say, right, I've been trading for a while, and I'm going to stick with my risk reward, etc., because every bad one comes, there's a good one around the corner. I suppose vice versa as well. And this is the whole point, Dirk. This is the point. That's the whole point here. Yeah, Vicky and company. That's the whole point. Is why I go on and on and on and on and on about this, because it's this exposure, getting the right volumes. Because if you have a good run, it's human nature to say, I only made 1,000. I should have gone in bigger. Now I made 2,000. So you operate on that principle. The next couple of bad ones, not only put back in winning, which knocks a smile off your face, but you actually go into a downer. Not just the loss of money, loss of confidence, and then you do starve things. You go in small than you can afford, you're underexposed, and then you get a good run, and then you make back 500 of the 1,000 you lost on the 2 trades, etc. So try and stick to the volumes you're comfortable with. Work out the percentage you're willing to risk as a percentage of your portfolio, your balance rather, and stick to that discipline. If you'd have a good run, obviously you can increase. You might want to reduce it slightly for a bad run. I mean, obviously you've got a small amount, then of course then you have to reduce the exposure slightly, but be disciplined on it. Okay, right. Easy said than done. But if you go like a stuck pig all the time, maybe it will sort of start to like a mantra. Making a bit of sense. Okay, I have a long trade, AUD, CAD, and well, do you think I should stick with a trade, or do you see it turn to a short? Right, first rules. Well, Pete knows this, but other ones. If someone's in a trade and they want to discuss it, that comes first. If anyone comes up as a trading idea, that comes second. Everything else comes third, unless I'm talking about cricket or rugby. Okay, that's different. Then that comes. I'm just joking, but I mean, seriously. So that takes top priority. If you're looking at it for whatever, fine, but he's in a trade and this is actionable sort of advice required. So that take priority. Okay. Well done, Pietro. Well, bloody done. Thank goodness. Well, bloody done. Wow, I'm actually not so impressed with that. More than I bloody did, I might add. Shouldn't have bit that to you, but maybe we should swap jobs. Do something. So you got a small winner. No, if you did not lose, not losing trade. That's quite something. Well, all right, now I'm going to put pressure, Pietro. Do not lose on a winning trade. I don't think you will. I think you got the idea of it. If you can scrap us a non-loss, a better way of putting 2 round, a non-loss out of a losing trade, that's quite astounding. Well, then that's wow. Maybe a bit weak. Never mind to say that. That's brilliant. Okay, anyway, moving along. We want this sorted out. AUD, CAD. Okay. Right, AUD, CAD. Yes, I'll get this out of the way. You're in a long trade. Yeah, as you can see, you're probably wondering about it, and I'm hoping you're wondering about it, not because you're in a profit and you're getting nervous. I think you're wondering about it, but you see technic's got a bit of resistance. I hope it's the latter that's making you a little bit worried. If it is, you're learning. If it's, I'm making a lot of money, I want to take away. That's emotion, that's not learning. So I'm hoping it's the latter. I feel you've been doing this for a couple of months. It probably is the latter, which is good. So I personally agree. It's in the neutral zone. It's not in the sell or the buy zone. So it could come off from there quite easily. The Canadian is a little bit on the weaker side at the moment, I have to say. So there could be a little bit more upside. But then again, the AUD came out, let's see it out this morning on the economic front. The GDP on the AUD was about was exactly 0.3% lower than the expectation. So that in theory, that should actually count for a little bit of weakness in the AUD. Having said that, let one be in, sorry. Having said that, let's look at the 4-hour. There are some sellers coming in. As I said before, Pete and guys, I can't tell you get out of it. It goes up. You're not going to be very happy with me. So what I can say is either you make the choice of exiting, which I would not be against, or move your stop up. So you're going to make a profit anyway. I'm going to check it back in your side, but I'm going to say, if you know what I mean, I wouldn't be against you getting out of it. But I'm not saying you should, if you read what I'm trying to say. Which, yeah, okay. Oh, that makes sense. Diplomatic hint there. Okay, happy with that, Pete? Then you can make your own decision on that. Good stuff, yeah. Because you know where I'm coming from. I don't say, oh, get out of that one, absolutely. And then you do, and the thing shoots up. You won't because you're a nice guy, but in the back of your mind, bloody Roger, you'll be saying, come on, admit it. Yeah, I know. The AUD, NZD, I've got the AUD, I've got across to the NZD, AUD, USDs, those two, and the other one, NZD, CAD. So I put 3 crosses lost. So that's why I was a bit impressed. Someone squeezed a couple of bucks out of it. I managed that pretty good. Oh, you didn't do it. Oh, you did. Should have done right. Oh, yes. At some point, did anybody go for my suggestion just on closing yesterday to go for GBP USD? I hope you remember. I pushed it quite hard. Wait to see it comes off on the daily, and indeed it did. Remember that it was up there. I hope some of you guys actually used it. But if you did, it's come off. It was at one stage. It was down about 100 over 100 pips. Now it's about 60. It's starting to move back up again for whatever reason. But anybody take that? Remember, I mentioned it. Just wait for confirmation. Well, Ken, I'll tell you what, friend. Hey, well, you're the man. Did anybody else do it? Ken, see, he's a bit of experience. All right, Grant. It's not the first time he's ever done it. But I remember us saying, wait for confirmation. There's a good chance. We lost on one of the trades, but now we've got it back, and it did okay. Don't know if you're still in it, but if you are, obviously modify your stock. But nice one. Just got to see what this message says. Really, good morning, Mr. Roger. Okay, fair enough. I'm sorry, I should have sent you sooner before. My name is my birthday. Until it's good enough. Yeah, that I agree with. Oh, one dealie. Okay. Do one dealie, it's fine. I previously used to tend the room when you were shuffling with Ashley, okay? Back then I was still getting used to trading and how everything works. And I feel I'm ready for real interaction with the trade. Brilliant. And we reply vocally too. Excellent. Got a grand, my traders account. Watching you on YouTube, I'd like to know how you qualify for instance your WhatsApp groups. Okay, if you're happy with that, Peterson will answer this guy's question, then we go to the trades. Brilliant, well done, Howard. So it looks like a little bit of amount upside GBP NZD. We're just going to do that quickly, then we'll answer that question. So I'll tell you what, I'm going to come back to that. Just remind me, Andy, if I forget, I'll come back. I'll answer that question. This is a trade, we've got to settle these first. Today came off a lot. Yeah, I'm still maybe psychological, but I'm still a little bit nervous of buying the pounds. Although clearly it's in the buy zone. Maybe I should overcome my psychological attitude and say the buyers are buying it, follow them, and never mind what we think about it. If Jerry Springer, which is a rubbish show, in my opinion, is doing well, invest in it. Not in a Shakespeare play, which no one's going to see, which might be better quality, if you get my point. Okay, so technically speaking, gun back, that looks like a buy. I'm just personally, it's just my own psychological prejudicial area on the pound to buy it. But yeah, it does look a bit like it, something like that. But I'm just nervous. So, but if you like it, technically speaking, it could bounce back up from there. Yeah, I agree. But you can see why I'm nervous because I'm still in the pound despite everything else. Well, I know for a fact economically it's not. It's a bigger economy by far than NZD, but doesn't mean to say it's a better economy. It owes more. Yeah, I've got 3 smart cars outside, which means I'm much better off than George, because George only got 1. But the thing is, my debt on those 3 is far higher than George. So actually, George is probably better off. Same sort of principle. So from an economic balance sheet perspective, the economy in New Zealand is better. But anyway, having said that, technically, it comes down to support. So technically, ignoring my fundamental worry, that's a buy. Yeah, I agree with all that. I agree with all of it. Most of that Northern stuff discounted anyway. Yeah, I agree. So that's done. So whatever's happened there, that's now in the past. And I agree about NZD as well. All of that I agree with, 100%. Okay, so if you feel like it, guys, on a technical basis, I can put the calculator up for you. Just need a bit of feedback. I'm not going to put it up, Marshall. I don't need to. Marshall's experience, I'm assuming, and he can do his own risk reward. But but bottom line is, does anyone put a calculator up for this? Oh, I don't like that one. I went long on it. No, I'm just joking. Hold on. I want to check something. I might have to send the banner out. Just got to send it out to a couple of people. Obviously not receiving for some reason. Be a moment. Sorry, Nikki, I'm in the trading room now. I can't explain that, what you're asking there in 2 seconds flat. During the trading more, I'll reply after 11 o'clock. Okay. Okay. Where are we then? Okay. I was in retrospect, but you were very accurate the other way around. Okay, going back to this one. Shall we move on? Anyone will buy this one? We do, exactly. Cheers everyone up, me particularly. We can. You're getting it. Okay, Marshall, okay, you can do that, you know the score. Let's go back then to gold. I'll have a look at that. I see downside on that one. You should have received it in your mailbox. MT5 for everybody. There's 2 more being sent out. They haven't been sent out to you yet. That means the VIP group only. We've got $2.5 or $150 in their account. But we'll come to this one first. Okay, I see this one as before. I haven't written down straight from the trade room to this place, so I'll just have to give me a second. I write them down. Just give me a second. What's this one first? So you just have to bear with me. Got to write them all down. Went straight from the trade from the other meeting to this one. Where are we? 0.865, 0.5917. 0.5767. Two more to write down, so I'm up to date with it. Okay. Fine. Okay, the gold. Right. I think you should all have it, but I'm putting it up anyway. The price was 1848. It's come off a little bit. We got it 1834, so it's nearly there. It's only 50 cents short. But anyway, 1848 is correct. 1810. I said, remember last time, 1800 is likely, but it might not get there this time around, and actually turned around on the 1810 mark anyway. Trade was set out for 1834. Slightly around this, but if you want to chase it there, that's up to you. Just give me a second, look at the other screen there on the DXY. Still hovering below 105, but maybe get some good there. Okay, so that's the gold trade there. Don't forget, always look at this position size. Don't go in 0.01 on this because you went 0.01 on the euro dollar or the GBP dollar, or whatever it is, because it's clearly that might be 127. So 0.01 is, unless you got bugger all money, is a complete waste of time. So don't forget to look at the risk. If you've got 5 grand, you don't even be looking at maybe going at 0.1, not 0.01. You get the idea, or even 0.11, something like that. Please get that maths right. It's arithmetical 10-year-old stuff. And the emotion, I'm pretty sure, is clouding us and not thinking. Just make sure you get that. Calculator gives you the risk per micro. Get your maths right so you go to the right volume. You don't be under or overexposed. You want to get it right. If you're still in it, some guys already stopped out. He went back to the original one anyway. If you're still in, clearly, I keep saying that, people still do it double up, then you're clearly 100% overexposed. Obviously, if you're not in it, fine. But a hell of a lot of guys aren't, and now they get a chance to go in. And some guys, a lot of guys in the trading room, have stopped out in a profit. He's had recovered, so he's saying here's another chance to maybe sell it back down again. Okay. All good. I just want to see something there. Just one of the misses of writing that stuff out. That's fine. That's fine. Yeah, that's fine, Morris. But that's fine. It's not a problem. Look, I'm speaking for everyone, not the guys who are doing their thing. That's 100%. No problem with that at all. I don't want you to do, guys, to encourage the scalping. Don't go to step 2 till you come to step 1. What's the old cliche about running before you can walk? Okay, get the basics so you that start to run. Okay, so that's done. You should have it. It should be sent to you to move on. You're talking about the euro US dollar. Somebody actually went for that. I don't think it was a signal on a trading signal, but I didn't want to overexpose on the dollar. It looked like just as bloody well. Yeah, somebody, who was it now? Euro dollar, who came up with that? Oh yeah, can we look at euro dollar for sell? Yeah, I think that, yeah, let's have a look first at the economic calendar. Right, the economic calendar today has got the German manufacturing PMI coming out at just before 11.52, and unemployment change coming out 5 to 11. Pounds coming out some PMI, and Bailey, the government, speaking. Sorry, the GBP PMI is coming out at 11, and just after 12, the Bailey speaking. And at 3 o'clock this afternoon, we've got the German CPI. So you've got the German CPI and the German PMI and unemployment change. So that is not the euro. It's a big part of the euro. It's not the euro, but just bear that in mind. Okay, I'm just going to copy and paste that just in case somebody there hasn't got it. It won't take 2 seconds. If your point doesn't really matter. It takes very little time to do that. And I'll do the DXY as I'm at it, just in case. I want you all to have this because we refer to it all the time. And I want you to refer to it all the time as well. And I'll put the yields on because that's important as well. The yields on the US 10-year note. But look at the yields, not the bond itself, the yields. They're inversely proportional. Okay, as explained yesterday, so keep that. I'm just going to put my step down again. We've got a moment. Just remember, I get hell of a busy here, so don't call me up and just WhatsApp me, and just keep it on point if you would. And if you have got more than 2.5, please WhatsApp me. Saying you've got that, and I need your full name for the real account number. Don't say this is John, because I know who John is. I need your details, and it takes time to squeeze it out of the person. So give the full details, and on it, update and upload you, and away we go. If you got less than 500, I'm not going to be rude here, but don't bother me. I can't help you. You can't do anything with it anyway. Either get some funds that you can trade with, or, well, it's up to you. But over 500, Ken, we can get the odd signal. Can't get more than the odd one because you don't have enough money to take them anyway. But try and just bear that in mind, and then I can assist. Okay. But don't try and put 100 Rand, 150 in trade, get margin call, and get upset. Well, yeah, you're trying to buy a house for 10,000 Rand. I'm going to be honest, you've got no chance. So just be realistic on it. Okay, right, euro dollar. Yeah, I tend to agree with you. I do see dollar strength going through. It's not just me saying that, by the way. Got a few things I read in the mornings and evenings before I go through it. Certainly in the morning before looking at. Over consensus is the debt. They're looking for some inflation coming out in the talk of the dollar, by the way, and it's not happening as fast as they'd like. I think the hawkish stance is going to come through, and in my opinion, and not just mine, is there not going to be any decrease in interest rates this year. We'll talk about it, and it looks like it could be 0.5% coming up. I think it's this month instead of quarter. That's expectation being as it may. There'll be jumps around in between, as we all know, but it means we could get a bit of dollar strength coming through. So I see a possibility there, technically as well as fundamentally, but a downside. So yeah, just bear in mind you might be a little bit rid of the dollar because the last couple of trades yesterday, the AUD, and I think there's a GBP one as well. That was all dollar ones. Okay, unfortunately, got knocked on that. So you might be a bit wary psychologically, and I wouldn't blame you. That's fair enough. But technically speaking, forget the past. We're on the 10th hole now. I know you bogeyed the 9th hole, but we're not in the 9th hole now. Clear your mind. Focus on the 10th hole, if you know what I'm saying. And Marshall came up with this. I tend to see your vision, Marshall. I see your vision. Now, the next thing is, can we get a risk reward? If we put the stop up here, which I'd like to do, we're talking about 100 pips. Take it down there. We can squeeze a risk reward. We can, actually. I do have to say, I do like it. If you're still smart from the dollar hammering you and the dicks last roughly speak, you might be a little bit nervous of doing it. Again, I wouldn't blame you, but I'm leaning on to the side that I see that could come off, yeah. But if you want confirmation, 1810, knowledge 1810. If you want a confirmation, the 10-day moving average is going to hold. If you want to see the DXY move up a bit before you go for it, I'd probably say it's not a bad idea. Okay, so I like it, but it might be an idea to wait for a couple of sellers coming in. Let's look at the 15-minute. You see, my worry at the moment, we're not seeing any sellers come in. So I think we'll wait for momentum to change and get a confirmation. But I see a vision, okay? And if it goes up any higher and holds there, something like that comes off, we get a stop up here, the TP down there, it's even better. So it's not getting any, try the hourly, see, might hold there on the hourly, but we haven't got any sellers coming in to confirm. Otherwise, I'd agree with you, Marshall. Okay. That was a quick look at WhatsApp coming over with it. Second. Have you guys received it? A lot of guys WhatsApp and I haven't received a signal. I posted the banners, you know, on the QT update. For some reason, they're asking me for the signal details. I assume they've been posted by now. There's been a bit of delay there. I don't know why. It's quite easy. It's only copied, but I know maybe you've just got to check through who's got what. That might take some time. No. Okay. Right. So it's just anybody there. There's two more, which I'm going to go through now anyway with you. Well, NZD, CHF, and that's just like a pending. Might be okay now. And the AUD, CHF should have received that. You should have received them by now. And tell me when you receive them. There's 3 been sent. 3 to the VIP and 1 to the non-VIP. Okay. Doesn't matter if VIP or not in here, of course, is irrelevant. Okay, so we'll start with AUD, CHF. Let's have a look. It's a single, yeah. On the group, yeah, I post those. The group banners, I post, but I can't post the details because not everyone on that group has now anymore got 2.5 or more. That is filtered through by the office where they update every day to see 2.5 or above. So they will send the details up to those guys. That's what I don't know if you guys received it or not. But we can go through here immediately because you're already here. But I just want to know if the other guys are getting it. So Anna Marie or somebody, just please, when you get the details of the AUD and the NZD, just post and let me know. Okay, let's use the 2 trades anyway. AUD 6353. It's exactly the same one anyway. So put this up. This is the Stell idea. 6390. Yeah, that was the trade signal. You probably see clearly why. Okay, your receipt. Thank you, Peter. The reason I post the ban just to draw your attention to it, simple as that, and then you wait for details. And some guys still haven't. I'll copy and paste. The guys are trading will see it now anyway. So that was the signal. Go ahead. I've got it down for actually it's the exact figure. I've got it down for 55. One match irrelevant. Okay, same thing. So what do you guys think? Yeah, that's right. Thank you. I've got that, Dealey. I can't reply to that, but soon when I get a moment, I'll definitely give you the parameters required. No problem there. Thank you for that. Just on the WhatsApp there. Okay, so what do you think, guys? I know that looks like the dollar's still coming off a bit, but I don't know how it's going to last. But anyway, what do you think, guys? Do you like it? A new pie? Okay, you like it. Can we move on? You should all have those details. I'm just going to wait on for a minute. If you should have got in your mailbox or your WhatsApp or wherever the VIP guys with 2.5 grand or above. That's the thing. 2.5 grand or above to be on the VIP. If you come in here and you got 1 rand, it's irrelevant. Strongly suggest you don't trade with them. You won't be able to anyway. Okay, so we can move on then. You got that one. The other penny order slightly higher. I'll show you why. NZDCHF, it was. Yes, it was. Also a sell. And we want to see the blue line, it's a pending order. We think it's going to get to there and hold, so we'll set it there. So I'll put the calculator up for you. It's not a market order, it's a pending order, not as much different from only a few pips, but it's pending. The correct 0.5865, that's your entry, it's nearly there. That's on the bid, not on the ask. So it's not on the buy, it's on the sell. That's 665, which is around about these levels there. If it starts coming off, you might be able to chase it. Your risk reward's okay. But I think it's going to get to the moving average of 50. That's the more important one of the two. And that's the 50. The most important, the 200 and the 50, about equal even Stevens. And that one also important, but not as. And that's okay. But not, these two, the blue and the brown, they stuff here that. And 57.68. $100 a micro if you can get that. You should have received that as well. And that's why you've got to see, just check the figures, you know what I'm saying? If it goes slightly above and you come in late, you didn't see it, don't, for goodness sake, put a self-stop you like the trade, go in a market for getting a better price. A lot of companies, which they would do, is put it going at this or better, means a better price. So what's happened to the dollar suddenly coming up? No idea. Why the dollar suddenly decided to come off? Going on there. No, that's not the stop, that's the entry level there. It's a 4 hour, okay, and it coincides pretty much the moving average on with the daily. Let's have a look at the hourly. Starting to come off a bit now, good. And the weekly also, that's holding there. So overall, technically speaking, that looked pretty good. If you want to chase it now, tell me, and then I'll reduce it to instant by a flick of a button. There, instant. You see, there's your problem. You'd have to maybe reduce your stop a bit if you go in instant, because you'd go your risk gone out, or increase your TP. I don't really want to do that. Maybe you can smidgen down your stop a bit if you go in now. Your choice. Might come off, might go up. Clearly, I don't know. Don't ask me. I have no idea. Nobody tells what's going to happen next 10 minutes. Absolutely impossible. Don't even think of it. So those you can look at. Okay, we covered those. See how they go. I'm a bit worried about this dollar. I don't know why it's suddenly come off. It's in the last few minutes. Don't know. There's no funding come out. Just check if I missed a funding. No, nothing. Not that I'm aware of, unless you've seen something. Okay. Which might have a bit of a run up now. Gold's still holding all right. I don't know why it's coming off. What's the yields doing? Could be why, because I don't know why. Yields are okay. Yields are hanging on in nicely. No idea. Probably just why he didn't do the euro dollar just now in my shelf. I assume he didn't. Wow, look at that, surprising. No, hey, Farley, are you here? Go figure. Hey, yes. Now, there, you asked me that. I'm scratching with 3 hands now. Dollar's coming off, and this is a very slow reactor. Don't make sense that. Maybe it's just such a short-term move down. Maybe. Anyway, I don't know, so no point answering. Right, but where are we now? Okay, fine. We covered those 3. The Dow, let's go back. We've been in the Dow for a while. You should be doing fine on that with Brent. Anyone still in there? Fair enough. If not, that's doing still right. You're doing very well, eh? We'll look at these shares later on this afternoon. ABCD, so the Dow is here. Dow's doing beautifully. Some guys got it about 1,500 pips away. Some guys took their profits. Some guys went in again. But 3140 and modified to 33,000, 33,140, as you say. to 33,000. The guys went another time up to second trade. We now just under 500 pips up, which is going very nicely. NAS just hovering a bit, but it's still in profit, so that's okay. NAS we got into about 12.1. I think Ken might have taken it right about there as well. And it's in profit. It's a bit slow at the moment, but we shall see what happens on that. Good. It should still all be in the Dow. No reason to take profit. Why do that? It's still running. You got your stop to protect you anyway. Why would you do that? Take out of a winning trade, jump to something else we don't know is going to win or not. Doesn't make sense. Well, it does. It means you're frightened the profit's going to be taken away from you. We get scared when we win because someone's going to come and spoil the bloody party. Don't take it before they spoil it, and the party just keeps on going. You left the party too early. It's still going strong. Okay, so there we are. Just want to point something out going forward. Brings a lot of issues with the S&P from a technical, not technical charts. I mean, from the MetaTrader 5 point of view. Okay, been a lot of issues on this. I just want to point this out. So it's now trade close only. If you're in it, you can close it and find a new trade. But why would you? You've got a micro now. You've got the NASDAQ. It's better, unlike micro and NASDAQ, it's more volatile than the S&P, so why would you? So I don't think, if you've been trading all your life S&P, well, that's your choice then. Maybe find a broker that's still valuable. We get a lot of issues from the MetaTrader on it, which like kicking out, coming out, I don't know what it is there on it anyway. So I'd rather leave it alone anyway. You got the micro on the NAS. Before you couldn't trade the NAS because you didn't have enough money. Now you can, and it's more volatile, so better bet. It's a better product than the S&P. Now you can afford it, is what I mean. How do you feel about breaking trade down to two smaller ones, close them at 50? Okay, so what you're saying, like a lot of guys do, if I'm on the right track here, TP1, TP2, TP3, is that what you're saying? So when you go into that, let's make that, we've got that, let's pick up. Enter now, stop up here, TP1, TP2, TP3. Or you're saying, right, I've got, I see me partial close with you now. That's a good point. I'm assuming everybody knows how to partially close. From answer question or not, doesn't matter. You all know it anyway. So you all know how to partially close your position. You got, let's say, 3 minis in them, not 3 micro, but 3 minis. 0.1's a mini, remember? You got 3 minis, and I think what you're trying to say is, it's come down this far, you're short, close 1 mini. Number 2, close 2 minis. Modify your stop, of course. Third one, yeah, close your third mini. So that way you could have, say, TP1, TP2, TP3. Instead of having the TP1, TP2, TP3 as in the take profit on your instrument, you'd have the take profit on your instrument on the MetaTrader 5 at the third one. Would have a horizontal line at 1 and 2 TPs. When it gets there, you close one of them, one of those minis or micros or whatever, and then you close the second one and you're out in the third TP of the entire. Is that what you're saying, Nico? And it's not a bad idea. Yeah. How do you do it? See, this is the problem. We go to platform training, and I'm not sure they cover it or understand that. Right, I'll try and show you. This is nothing in this account, so don't use this account at all, but I'll try and show you what it is there. Okay, I'll put on the trade there. Pretend you're in a trade, in several trades. Obviously, highlight clearly, obviously. Be surprised sometimes, guys. You know, I assume it's the obvious, sometimes it's not. Highlight clearly when you reduce or partially close. Now, example, you've got 4 micros in any, it doesn't really matter what it is, 4 micros in this specific instrument. You see the SL box and the TP box. That's for modified. You don't do that. You go anywhere but, maybe the volume will do. You double click on it. The box comes up and it says, a yellow bar says close the trade page. Well, you don't, ignore that and you go to volume. Let's say you want to close one, you've got 3 micros. There we are, 3 micros. You want to close 1 micro, you put in the volume 0.01, then you go to yellow bar, click on it, and 1 micro will be banked, and the volume there will change from 3 to 2 or or 0.02, from 0.03 to 0.02. Please understand what I'm saying. It's just a mouthful that. Please understand micros, minis. Do not trade if you really know so little. You will come back and hit, and it's time consuming for us as well. So you close. You got 3 micros. You close one. You got 2. So 2 micros there. You close one, and let's say it comes down a bit further. You double click, go put 0.01 in, close that. Now you got 1. Hits the third TP, then you close it, or it's automatically closed because you've already got that as your TP anyway in your platform. Anybody not understand that? This is critical. Anybody not understand that? Because I'm telling you right now, as a large percentage don't know you can partially close, and you've taken the trouble to come to the trade room, so you'll be ahead of them. Everybody, please tell me if not everybody. Anybody, please tell me if you don't understand that. And I'll repeat it. It's important. Well, it's not so much you lose too much or whatever. It's a strategy that can be implemented that way. I mean, clearly, if it continues down to TP3 and you partially close, you're not making the same profit. But it's all about equity management anyway. Get this concept. It's about equity management. Look after that. Don't worry about the profit. That will look after itself. It's the equity management comes back and bites because it's up to maggots and most traders, beginners. This is something we can control. So anybody not know how to partially close, whatever expression you want to use, a trade. You don't have to close the entire amount. Anybody, I'll run it by it again. This is important. Please put your hand up. If you don't, I'll assume you know. Okay. And you wonder why the Parnies do well, or the Joes do well, or the Kens do well, because they do put their hand up. No idea. Fiona, partially closed. Go to your laptop. Don't spend too long. So unless we get a trade comes out, I'll stop a meeting. It's a training room, not a platform training room. I'm doing on Saturday. I'll go through it on Saturday. A couple of guys are on leave or whatever. So I'm filling on Saturday morning on platform training, by the way. Right. Go to it now as I'm talking. Don't actually do it. Just go through the motion. Left click on any of them on an open position, right? Then, if you got 0.01, obviously, that you can't go lower than that, so you can't partially close. You've got to have more than 1 micro. So assume you've got more than 1 micro, any of them, not on the SLTP, double click. A box comes up. That box comes up. Put in the volume you want to close, and then click the yellow bar at the bottom, and then the volume you close will be banked, and the residual left over will be there in your volumes. Thank you, Cozy. I like you. I do indeed. Thank you. Was that clear, guys? Because if not, maybe somebody else can stop the share, or I don't know, whatever, or come to join me in platform during Saturday morning. Because this is part of the armor you've got to have. And Nick, it's a good point there. I should have mentioned before, I've done it quite a lot myself. Gets to TP1, don't put TP in there in your TP, obviously. I'll give an example. I'm not sure we'll get around the stick here. What should we do? We go short on the NASDAQ, right? You've got your TP in here. Make it, I don't know, make it 11.7. That'll be your third TP, but you might have a TP1 at, let's say, 12,000. Make it 12.9, oh, sorry, 11.9, and another one 11.8. Just draw a horizontal line I got here, 11.9, 11.8. And if you've got more than 3, then you can partially close one at 11.9, partially close the other, and it gets the next one down there. And then you don't have to close this automatically. If you put 11.7 in your stop loss, that'll automatically kick you out on the last part. Are we all clear on that? Yeah, but I don't teach the mobile. The only thing I use with the mobile, I'll be honest, is I keep it handy if I'm popping. I've got to go to the office. I've got it in the car handy. I need to do something and quickly look at it as a reference, or I'm on the road or whatever. I don't know. I'm usually in front anyway of this thing here, but I presume we can. But what I can say, it is important if you can get a laptop to do it. You need the tools to do the job, guys. If you want to make money, you've got to be serious about it. I fancy making a couple of bucks doesn't count. It doesn't cut it. You've got to get the right equipment. You haven't got the right equipment. You haven't got the knowledge. You haven't got the capital. It's not going to happen for you. You've got to have all three. Take one out, and you're going to battle. Just one. You break the whole chain. You've got to have all three of them. So try and get the right equipment. I'm going to come and fix your car, and I've got a plastic bloody spanner. Yeah, that doesn't work. You know what I mean? Can't see that on there at the moment. So you have to, if you want to chat to me, you can. But I haven't got time to look at all these things. So just either post words or chat to me, but I can't go through links on that because we've got other stuff to do. Okay. That's just everyone tells trading, but in the meantime, an easy way to do this, making a trade, three trades, the TB. All right, so it's true, but then, yeah, okay. But why go to effort? Because you can't bloody work out the basics of that. There's only so much, Mick, I'm going to be horribly harsh here. Only so much you can dumb down this particular way of making money. Otherwise, if you still can't grasp that, it's not going to be for you. You know what I mean? It's like saying a guy who's got 30% in the trick is going to study, be a doctor. It's not going to happen. You know what I mean? If this is too much to overcome and understanding, one has to be honest with oneself. It might not be for me, because the actual aspects of this involved is a lot more complex than that. If you can't grasp that basic stuff, be honest with yourself, it might not be for you. I don't understand. I haven't got any money. I haven't got any knowledge. I've got a broken phone. What chance you got? Remember, it's a zero-sum game. You know, someone wins, somebody loses. And if you're going to make, who's going to, you know what I mean? If you haven't got the right equipment, you're going to give the people who have. Okay. Don't have to be an expert on the type. Look at me, Fiona. I've gone into, I know less than you about technology. IT is like an operator damn thing as far as they go. But I don't get teased on my lack of IT knowledge. But this is mathematical. I don't do with IT. It's based not even mathematics, it's arithmetic. If I say 3 times 15 and you have no idea what I'm talking about, you've got to question whether it's going to be for you. You should be able to do that. You need it in life anyway. But that's like reading and writing. It's something you've got to have. Trying to apply for a job. I don't know what 1 and 1 is, and I can't read or write. The options are limited. Okay. I'll have to face up some reality on that. Okay, so everyone now know how to partially close a trade. Anyone not know, please tell me. Just post or say so. If you want to discuss things, Simone, or anything like that, please do. Just I'll mute you. I might have been muted because I have a bit of noise, sorry. Or unmute you all. If you want to discuss something, please do it. And then I'll try my best to assist. But I repeat again, if you don't say I don't understand, I'll assume that you do, and then you can't say after I didn't when you got the chance. Do you all understand how you can partially close? I don't want the yeses. I'm assuming all the yeses. I just want to hear the no's. Anybody no? I promise you, have the nerve to do it, and I'll explain again. Give me a few moments. Because you need to know that, and you've got to be able to think quickly sometimes. It's a fast-moving market. Okay, good enough. So I'm getting quite a mouthful. Wait, yeah, because I'm a bit, that's my problem actually. But I'm a bit of a loud mouth or whatever. As long as you understand. Double click, not the SL. Again, it should be commented. No point clicking there. SL come up. But price volume, do volume you like. Double click on there. Box comes up. You've got 4 micros. You want to click 2. Put in 0.02. Press the yellow button here. And you got 0.02 left, the other 0.02. 2 micros are left, you got 2 micros there. Okay. All good. Is that right? Okay, I see what you mean, Simone. But it doesn't matter now. You now know, don't you, Simone? You got it now, Jacob. Simone, you know how to partially close now, don't you? I need a yes or a no. Great. Good. Sorted. Might have to do this again for some of you guys, but if anyone's still not sure, I'm doing platform training myself. It won't be an involved one, I'm telling you right now. I'm nowhere near Clinton's standard when it comes to IT. But all I want a person to do is now to partially close, modify stop loss, load the watch list, and know how to place the trade and understand the volumes of the position size calculator. Once they can do that, they can operate with hitting signals. Down the line, they can work their own signals out in question, but at least they can get started there. If I haven't got time to teach a platform trader that, how do I place a trade? Go to PT will be the standard answer. Okay, and please never on a demo, ever on a demo. That's your own playing around with, doesn't involve us. Okay, we're all clear on that. Right, let's just quick check, unless any more trade ideas, let's quick check what we're in at the moment. We looked at AUD CHF, anything happening there? We've got a sell on that at 53, beg your pardon. A couple of pips, at least the right side of the entry, so that's okay. Gold's sort of hovering around about the entry point. We might get a bit of bump up in the dollar, hopefully from here. It's about even Stevens there. Just let this out. We've got a 65 entry in NZD CHF. Yes, it just got there. So you might have grabbed it. You might have got it. Just about got there. And it held, like I expected. Hey, it held, got there. Nice one. Yeah, Jacob, to be honest, I don't mind a guy using new ideas, new strategies, and when it starts to make sure they don't do fat finger, do what button to press. Now, you put in 10 instead of 1, doesn't matter on the demo. It's just to quickly practice to get know how to operate the platform, basically. But otherwise, don't use it because it gives you a false sense of security. You think you learn how to trade, take the emotion out of it, you're not learned anything. The emotion is the biggest loss to control, more than understanding anything, really. And so anyway, you can do it when you get that fear, the adrenaline. Okay, yeah, I can probably work it out. Not as I can work it out again, but I don't ever use it on it. I mean, obviously, I know how to do it. It's I do, but I've forgotten because I only use it as a portable to quickly modify stop loss to make computers. I've gone to bloody the shop or something. Hardly ever use it. But if you call me up at 6 or something, or I switch the computer off, then I can that and close or enter or just check on my phone because I've knocked off the computer. Okay. I certainly don't do strategies on my phone, put it that way. Thank you for that, Morris. Just remind me of that. 5 minutes. I thought it was a bit later than that. Oh, CPI 55 I got down. No, CPI, what do you say there? CPI what? CHF PMI in 5 minutes. Something like that. Must be a 2-star. I know I'm getting it. Okay, fair enough. Obviously, I didn't see that because I got it filtered out. Okay, thanks, guys. Marius, Friday, whatever. Just let me know on that. That's fine. So just see what happens. Fine. Just let me know on that because I've probably moved on. Okay. What's an HPI, Marius? Have we got a GBP NZD trade? You mind? We have one here. I'm not quite sure what HPI is. But the pound's come out 11:30 up here, Mike. I'm not sure what HPI is, but housing price index. Okay, housing price will be a 3-star. What do they call it? Retail housing, they call it in the US. That's a 3-star. That's very kind of you, Nico. Thank you. But surely should all be clear by now anyway. That's very kind of you. I might just a second, I'm just going to copy and paste that. Try and get that into my WhatsApp to pass on. Just hold that just a second. Yeah, just leave that there for a moment and come back to that. Thanks for that. That's very helpful, guys. Cheers. So I don't know if anyone took the NZD CHF trade as mentioned, but that's doing okay at the moment. Okay, it's a couple of bits, but it's okay. Gold is hovering. But even Stevens now. I think the dollar's trying to start go up, which is okay. Right, I see short NASDAQ price want to do to RO's pending order. Okay, for sure, sorry, for sure. Pending. You want to go at 1216. Never mind the point one. It's not really relevant. 1216.1. Put a stop loss in. I like about 200 pips minimum on this. Do this instead. Jumping around a bit there. Yeah, put it above here. Make it around 12.4. Keep it out of the way. And take it down here. 11.9. That's clearly not going to work. So take it down to here. Yeah, try that.
Thanks, Roger.
A pleasure, Solly. Good to hear from you.
Thank you. And I'm seeing different things actually now. According to your help, actually, I see a lot of improvement actually.
See a lot of what? Sorry.
Improvement on my progress actually.
Oh, right. So I understand you're right. You see a lot of improvement on your trading, etc. Is that correct? From the Oh, brilliant. See that, guys? I didn't say it. I promise I didn't pay anything. And he's my son or my father or my wife or whatever, or my husband. There's an objective guy. I think that there you are. So, yeah, that's great. So I encourage guys to maintain the joining the trading room, attending the trading room. Okay. Brilliant. Thanks for that. Appreciate it. So 48.9 compared to forecast of 50. That's the price. It's slightly less inflationary. That in theory, it's pretty stable Swiss. In theory, it should actually have a slightly negative effect because I don't start worrying about interest rates there. Really, about 50 indicates expansion sector. Yeah, that's fair enough. So thank you, Solly. I'll go back to the CHF one. Can we knock that off now? We'll do the ones we're on. It should, in theory, but anything can happen here. We might get a bit of downside there. A little bit of downside. Let's put 5 minute on that. Yeah, that's what I thought. Yeah, in theory, it should get a bit of downside on that one. And we'll see what happens. So that's okay. And maybe NZD CHF as well. In fact, this came out, what, 5 minutes ago, did it? Not much effect at all. We shrugged that off. It's less a concern now, I'll be honest, in Switzerland than it has in Europe, the Far East, big tiger economies, and of course the United States. Okay. Yeah, so there's not much effect. So luckily it's a bit of a damn square. Right, do you want to look at the NZD, USD? Yeah, I think it does start to look like a bias in neutral zone. My problem with it is, number one, I think the dollar's a little bit oversold. It might get a bit of recovery here, which would be downside for the New Zealand. Number one. Number two, it's right at resistance at the moment. As you can see, it's been holding for quite a while. So that resistance has been holding since 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 days. That's 2 weeks. It hasn't managed to break through. If you want to buy it, I would suggest you maybe wait for a confirmation break above there, or a pull back to maybe the 200 or the 50-day average. And watch that dollar index, please. That dollar starts to strengthen, could happen, could actually break further down. So on that basis, I would not be going in myself. I'm suggesting leave that alone. That's my take. Anybody as to Mr. Gamidi there? Your first name was a bit difficult for me to pronounce. So if anybody disagrees, Farney, Murray, sorry, Marius, sorry, Farney, Marius, and Ken, anybody disagree? Anybody, Nico, do you see a buy here, anybody? I stated my case. The idea behind it is to get other guys to get opinions on it, not just to sort of say, if you say so, fair enough. We're not in the army now, as you say. Yeah, and Lorenzo, of course, yeah. Okay, so we're happy on that. We stay on that. Remember, it's my opinion, and yeah, and he's right. Okay, fine. All right. Okay, so we got the few out there. You've got your normal stuff. Just quickly, just a quiet moment. Just reply here. You can what you call it? Save your templates. Don't forget, save it. If you haven't, do it now. Put your name in there and save it. So if you do lose your chart for any reason, just right-click, go to templates, and you click on the save chart, and you're back up and running. Don't forget to do that. You all know specifications, gives you information on it. You got to understand what it means. Contract size, margin, full access, should say full access there, means you can buy or sell it. It might say long only or close only, that, etc. So there's your figures there. And if you know, if you divide that figure into 100, it gives you your leverage. Just as it says 5 to 1, 1 to 1, yeah, you've got to work out the leverage. And please know what leverage means. Yeah, that's true. That will have an effect on it one way or the other. Yeah, you're quite right, Fran. But Nico likes to buy on it. So Nico's the one person who likes to buy. Do you want to pick up the risk reward there, Nico, for you? You have to have it below today's, so you'd have to have about 90, nearly 100 pips stop. You're not going to get a risk reward there. You'd have to take it up there or even there to get a risk reward. Okay, somewhere there if you want to do it. You're a bit on your own there. You know how to do it anyway. Oh, a couple of guys want to buy it. If a couple of guys want to buy it, I'll put it up there. Okay, no problem. Stated my case, I ate, but it's up to you. Just below here. Doing today's range, unless you're doing a 4-hour. You want to do a 4-hour one, tell me, and I'll put that up. That'll do. 64.40, there we are. So if you want to do a buy, if you want me to do it on the 4-hour for you guys, I can. Oh yeah, of course, the flooding. I forgot about that. So it's right in Orkney, yeah. And I hope your house is not flooded out. That's happened to me, all right, many years ago. Came back and literally the house was about a foot deep in water. 4 hours rather. Then you can make it slightly tighter one, maybe sky here. And then the TP, scrunch it down to maybe here. Maybe a little bit tighter. There we are. And just a little bit tighter. There we are. Actually, just squeeze it if you want that. Okay. If anyone wants to take that, they can do. I ate, quite clearly stated that. If 2 guys or more do it, I'll put their name by and I'll write it down and keep an eye on, no problem. It's a democracy in here. I am the host, to be fair, but yeah. And I see the DXY's coming off, which might do you a bit of a favor, actually. And as I say, 3:30 PMI is coming out. So that will affect it. I think it's the PMI, whatever, one of them's coming out. ISM, yeah, ISM PMI. I'm certainly not doing it, no. Don't forget 3:30. Am I on the wrong one there? Yeah, 5 o'clock, sorry. Yeah, the ISM PMI is coming out, not 3:30, beg your pardon, 5 o'clock. Okay, cheers, Vicky. Cheers, Anne-Marie, stuff to do. Okay, there's only a few minutes left anyway. A couple of trade stuff, probably find another one. See what happens. Okay, all right, so those are my there. Nico, well, no, we're talking about the non-farm payrolls. You know what non-farm payrolls is, surely. It's not. It's usually the first Friday. It's not this time. It's next Friday. And we're doing a session. We'll be everyone on the WhatsApp groups of all sorts. I think probably just the VIP guys will be reminded later that there'll be an afternoon Zoom session. I think it'll be at 2:45, just so everyone, the late stragglers, basically, they've all got the mechanics of the straddle trade waiting for 3:30 release of non-farms, but that's the 10th of March. It's usually the first Friday. It's not this time. It's the second Friday for whatever reason. But that's the jobs report, non-farm payrolls, whatever, NFP, whatever you want to call it. Most important fundamental on the calendar. Well, CPI's been pretty big up there lately as well for various reasons, but yeah, we're doing that. In fact, probably do it for the CPI when it comes up next time, only on the US, by the way. Oh, is that right? Did you? Okay, that's interesting. Oh, right, Nico. Okay, fair enough. So experienced trader. I mean, do you know what and non-farms are? Wow. Now that explains it. Yeah. First Friday every month, except this particular time, like I mentioned, is jobs report or the non-farm payrolls, and that's 3-star plus. And you can't really get hold of a broker by phoning them just before that particular release of data. They're stuck in front waiting to be released, and they even have their Bloomberg on or whatever it is. So if you get call a broker before that time, you usually get ignored. If you WhatsApp them, I'll probably say waiting for NFP. We assume you know that. So there you are. Just to remember that. But it'll register on your economic calendar, which I've posted for you, Nico. So just bear that in mind. As I say, I will do a session 2:45, so we get everyone on board with the understanding of the mechanics of the straddle trade. And then, yeah, then we'll wait for the 3:30 release, and I'll continue a little bit afterwards just to see how it works out. And then that's it going. Normally, I don't do a Friday afternoon session. That's just a CPI. I will be doing it in a non-farm. If they do affect the markets, and if you do the straddle trade and it does come out differently, it can be very rewarding. Yeah, we don't do crypto on here, and there's a reason for it. No harm in you going over a crypto to another broker. No problem with that. But we don't have them here. The reason is it's not regulated. So if I say to you, you're going to make a fortune in the euro dollar, I guarantee it. I'm what you call it, I'm regulated, and you don't. The guarantee falls through, and you don't make whatever I promise. You can start kicking up about it and going to the FSCA, the ombudsman, or whatever. If I say, hey, go into I don't know, a crypto, what's a Bitcoin or Ethereum or whatever, you'll double your money next week. I guarantee it. And you go and it doesn't happen that way. I just shrug my shoulders. Tough, mate. You can't take me anywhere because it's not regulated. Until it's regulated, we won't have it on here. But it doesn't mean to say you can't do it. As long as, like anything else, regulated or not, as long as you know what you're doing, it doesn't matter. Yeah, if you want to do it, you need to get it with another platform, and then you can discuss it with whoever.
Thank you, Roger. Now I'm very curious. I'm investigating various things while I have time on my hands.
Right. Well, I want to mention something on there. because you're a scientist, knowledge of is part of what you do, and it's important. Whether you use it or not doesn't matter. It's good to have knowledge. I get that completely. What I don't want from people to think, well, I failed at currencies, I failed at commodities, I failed at indices, I failed at shares, I'll have a go at crypto. You know, it's like I've had 5 marriages gone wrong. Maybe it's not the women the problem, maybe it's me. Do you know what I'm saying? So just bear in mind for your knowledge, which I'm sure you do. I mean, I feel I know you well enough. That's it. I just worry about guys going in for the reason I just made. That the problem is you. It's not the bloody changing instruments every 5 seconds. Keep crashing cars in another car. Doesn't cut it.
Thanks.
Good. A lot of people swear by it. A lot of people done very well. I haven't followed because I'm busy with this and say we don't have it. But when we do, I'll obviously have to probably take an exam and bone up on it. Well, do you see what Nico says there? But I think, but Farney is to say, he's probably want to do it for his own knowledge. I mean, there's a lot of bits and pieces I know, might not fact lot of use, but I like to have it anyway. Like I know the dates, the Battle of Hastings, no commercial value whatsoever, but I happen to know. It's just interesting to know.
Yeah, I basically want to do just research and find out how does it work. I know it's extremely volatile. Sorry, my interconnection is very unstable. So, Nico, whatever information you can just WhatsApp me or something that I can read up on. It's not for me to go in right now on your advice. I just need to research, please.
Yeah, that's what I thought you meant. That's why that's what I thought you meant. I'm pretty damn sure of that. But I just want to clarify with other people. It's your own academic knowledge. It's nice to have that knowledge. It's power. But it doesn't mean to say just because I read a book on I don't know, Adolf Hitler, it means I'm going to start going around killing people. It's just trying to increase my knowledge. Okay. It's like reading a book on the Communist Party or the neo-Nazi party. It's increasing the knowledge, so you actually believe in what they're preaching. Yeah. Okay, Tony. Right. Okay, where were we? Okay, so there we are. Leave that alone for a moment. Just going to quickly go back at what's the dollar doing? Just give me a second. Ooh, it's still not coming right, is it? Ooh, a little bit worried about it. Anyway, AUDCH, that's a gold trade I'm talking about. AUDCHF. That one is 53. That's coming a little bit of profit there. That's okay. Hope the guys are not too scared after the last couple of trades that went wrong. Might be scared to go in any new ones. Think I'm a load of old rubbish. People don't to me. Think it's the company. But you know it's me who sends it to behind the trades anyway. But that seems to be okay. So we're getting the name back. NZD. We're still gold all the way down. Where's gold? Well, gold's holding all right. Surprised gold be going up a bit more. I said such a jump. Maybe some guys taking profits. So you might get come right on that one. And NZD CHF is hovering a little bit, but slightly okay. Slightly okay. AUD is doing the better of the two. Slightly okay, and gold's about even Steven. So it's not too bad. Yeah, that's the blockchain. Bitcoin, Ethereum, they're individuals. Like I'm learning about Forex. Doesn't have to be in euro, dollar, it could be a bloody rand dollar. Yeah, the blockchain theory behind it, absolutely. I think it's the future, actually, guys. I think that's the future. The major problem I have at the moment is how to overcome money laundering, because it's all virtual there. How can you legislate? I'm a crook. I'm a money laundering crook, and I'm paid for all my misdemeanors in Bitcoin. I I can just spend them anywhere. Don't have to worry about exchange control or where it came from or anything. It's in the cloud. You know what I'm saying? Oh, that's good. Okay, yeah, that's right. Hold it like this. That's true. Yeah. That's like Kruger. It's a good way of putting it. I like that. And when it says Wild West, if you're on the right side of it, it's almost like a fundamental coming out, and it came out in your favor, a radical jump and a big smile. The problem is, again, psychology, people just don't know. They don't think, basically. They don't think, hang on, this time I got lucky. They think it's their own skill. Well, they got lucky, you know, when you get like that sort of jumps. That this is a problem, yeah, because they can't control. How can you? It's an ether. There'll be some way of doing it. Maybe some legislator, the blockchain, how to have it. You've got to have it before you can get part of it. Be something through the blockchain where you've got to have a very, very KYC, get to know your client properly. Know your client KYC, you know, where they can't even do it. I don't know, maybe around that way. I just don't know. But bottom line is, it is going to be a problem until it's regulated. Otherwise, the criminals will be basking in it. What a pleasure. And then comes to no exchange control. To put your money on the Bitcoins, and you've got 100 million, and then you can, you know, take all your money out and put it somewhere else, you know, anywhere in the world. Play havoc with exchange control. Forget FICA, forget money laundering. It'd be easy. Okay, we're getting off the subject a bit, but anyway, sort of interest in the meantime. Okay, we'll discuss a look at the shares later on. We've got a couple out. Amazon, I think, is about even Steven, round about. So was the Meta's giving a bit of jip. I think the Baba was sort of okay. We'll look at it later on anyway. All right, go for it.
Brent, did you look at Brent?
Yeah, I did earlier on this morning, about an hour ago, yeah, in the session, yeah. Yeah, we don't want to chase it now. Some guys are still in it. Some guys didn't do the TR one time, actually did them a favor because they probably haven't modified stop loss. They wouldn't know how to do it anyway. It's trading seemed like a good idea at the time, but they actually come off lucky this time. It's still continuing upwards. There's a good part seeing it partially closed. I mean, guys going to Brent, let's say a mini, which is 10 micros, might put a stop loss or even comes off a profit, might bank part of it and let the other run, you know, that sort of thing. So in other words, it's doing well. Instead of modifying the stop at all, don't even have to modify it, leave it right where it is, right out the way wherever it was down here somewhere. And just say, right, let's say I've got 0.1, which is 10 micros. I'm banked 2 or 3, I banked 2 or 3 more, maybe I have a couple running, then let it run a bit further. And whatever happens then, it doesn't matter. And if it goes any higher, maybe just put up to entry on that and let the other two eventually either hit the TP or just close it anyway. That's not a bad idea. Go on, sorry.
I was thinking of re-entering it for a long because of the figures that was published on China PMI, and Marius confirmed that he got that knowledge as well.
Yeah, okay, I have a problem with that. No, I have no problem with the upside still in action. It's trying to take out the 50. If you want to do short term with Marius, up to you. But if we're going to do the normal trade we do, send out kind of the normal people type of trade, we've got to look somewhere around about 87, right? Which is what, 87.40, which is what, $3.75 plus minus. So you're looking about a $2 stop. So you got every stop down there somewhere. You could manage it with a very tight stop. Maybe even squeeze a stop there. I'll put it up for you if you want, but that's you won't get a normal stop. I normally like to have $3 or $4, but not always. But you can always move it around. Maybe put the stop down here and take it up to here. I think you should maybe work at 87. Try that if you like. I was looking at what somebody mentioned there, is it? Okay, I like to use a hedge against fiat. Fiat is, I think, a Greek word or something. I forget what it means now. I remember I looked it up for a lot now. Anyway, it basically means paper money. And paper money, as we know, devalued. So if your house goes from R1 million to 2 million rand, it hasn't gone up by R1 million. The house is still R1 million in value. It means your paper money is decreased by R1 million. Not quite, not exactly. The general idea I'm getting across. Fiat currencies, any form of inflation, unless it's complete zero, which I haven't seen that yet, will actually devalue over time. So what it means is hedging against something like gold retains value, or maybe diamonds retain value, or master painting, if you're learning about it, retains value. These actually retain their value. Fiat currencies or paper money does not. It reduces. So that's what he means by that. Hope that's all clear. That's why gold often, even though it can go up sometimes, in some indicators should go down, a lot of guys buy gold, like Krugerrands, but particularly China, India, they often buy it as a hedge because it retains its value. The value of gold is the same as it was 100 years ago. It's just the dollar denomination of it's changed because the dollar has reduced in value. Gold hasn't. Okay, that's fair enough. Okay, so the guys who know the score want to do maybe a scalp trade and trade it now, fine. Well, scalp pushing it, it's a little bit more aggressive than a scalp. But if you like it that, they can do it. But we've got a trade still out there. So we can't sort of place that. And we wouldn't get the guys who don't know, majority of them don't know, to jump in because they're just going in parrot fashion. And that can come back and bite. With all these hate mails coming in, swearing, we'll get quite one of them, those 4-letter words today. We all know what those 4-letter words are, probably all don't know if I have them used extensively on TV. On TV, he calls us a fucking bunch of scamsters. But basically, what he's saying is, I don't know what I'm talking about, what he's doing. And he popped up, but of course, it's never his fault. But anyway, so yeah, but we still got to trade out. If you want to join, you can do. I'm a bit iffy on it, but that's just because I am. So we've got to trade out anyway, as long as we're all clear on the same page. But if you've done it and you want to chase it further up on that basis, fair enough, no problem. All good. Any questions, guys? Okay, just Judge actually just posted there. People ask if I can call it a cheat sheet, what deposits they want, and that sort of thing, go to trades. I don't know. Personally speaking, I think the company's overdoing the dumbing down. I mean, you know, you have to make a video to see where you put your name down. I mean, if the guys can't go to specifications, can't read any of the manuals, can't go to classes, can't go to platform training, can't come to the trading room, can't do 1 and 1 is 2. I'm wondering whether all this spelling out and not overholding the hand could help. They've got to somehow learn to, you know, do a few things and work a few things, from make some effort, get some knowledge, you know. And I personally think all you need to do is go to here, left click, right click, go to specifications. And if you don't understand it, go to a class and get someone to explain it to you and then be able to do it yourself. This to me is, it's almost like the nanny state you're getting in the West, where you don't have to think for yourself at all. The government's going to think for you. And I'm not sure that's the correct way forward, but that's just my opinion. And remember, the more sheep you have, the more easy to sell to, the more easy they are to control. And that's my worry as well. I want people to think rather than just be controlled by the powers that be, shall we say. You wouldn't have wars and all these problems if people thought. Hey, it's just about time anyway, Dirk, so no problem. Any last comments, questions, anything like that? Obviously applicable to trading you'd like just to clarify on before we close up till this afternoon?
Just that the German PMI came in 0.2% lower.
Yeah, I see. Thanks. What about that? Where are we now? Yeah, 0.2 on the PMI. Unemployment change was not so like a 2K instead of 9K. So what happened on the German one? Let's have the euro, I should say. What's happened? Anything happened to the euro? Let's do the euro dollar. Something we looked at earlier on. Go to the 5-minute one. Not much, eh? Doesn't seem to make much on the euro at all. Try something else. Maybe euro CHF. No, nothing. That's a 1-minute chart, guys. I'm talking here. 1.5 pips. That's diddly. So it's not made any difference. Maybe it's German. It's not. It's part of the eurozone, but it's only one. I think it's about 17 countries. Don't quote me. 16 or 17 anyway. Oh, it's the biggest. I get that, but still, it's only part of the whole. Okay. Okay, Fiona. Catch you tomorrow morning. Those can make this afternoon. Be great. And yeah, catch you then. Have a nice one. Thanks, guys. Thanks, Ken. Thanks, everyone. Thanks for your compliment there, Cat. Nice, Solly. Appreciate it. Cheers.